Hello, check. Super. So, hello everyone. Welcome to today's TPStreams webinar. I'm Stephen Saini, Business Development Manager at TPStreams and your host for this exciting session. So, we are thrilled to have you all in this webinar. As our focus today is, on how creating an in-house solution can give you a greater control, scalability, and customization to suit your specific needs. So said that joining us is none other than Akshay Saini. So he is the founder of Namaste Dev, and Akshay is an accomplished educator, renowned YouTuber with over 1.4 million subscribers, and a tech innovator. So he will be sharing his journey of moving away from a third-party platform and building a custom LMS for Namaste Dev. So we are going to learn from Akshay his vast experiences exploring the key challenges, the benefits of building your own platform, and the strategic decisions involved in it. So and also remember, this session is being recorded and will be available later on demand viewing. So now, without any further ado, let's welcome Akshay Saini. So Akshay, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for inviting me, right? It's an honor to be here and talking to you, right, about
Super.
Namaste Dev and the tech we use. So it's really nice. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. And it's also an honor for us actually, to have our client, So because we just started this and we really want this to go on, So we are starting with you, and it's great actually. So Akshay, with no further ado, I just want to know how is it going over there in Namaste Dev? How is everything?
Everything is going great, right? We are a small team. We are building a product by ourselves, and then we are slowly moving ahead, building the tech, and trying to help all the student community with learning, with upskilling, and all that stuff, right? So it's really nice, right? I'm learning a lot of things while I am going on this journey. Yeah.
Awesome. So, let's start from the ground zero, right? What inspired you, to start Namaste Dev? I know that you have been, a YouTuber and an influencer, before that, right? So, what exactly, influenced you to, start this platform, Namaste Dev?
So actually, see, it's a bigger story, right? Let me just cut short and tell you in
Sure.
brief. Uh, Actually, I was very fond of teaching since since I was in school. I used to teach my younger brother at home, and then I used to, teach my neighborhood kids. And
Awesome.
then when I went to college, I used to teach my juniors and like that, right? So basically, that's how the teaching is kind of within me, I would say, right? It's something that I love doing.
Super.
So that's how it started. Later on, I just moved to the tech industries. I started working as a software engineer. Everything was going great. So when I joined Uber, I realized that, okay, I have a lot of free time, and can I use my weekends to, teach people online? And that's when I started my YouTube channel. When I started my YouTube channel, it was without any intention of growing, or I never knew what would happen, right? I just started making videos. That's how my, journey of teaching on YouTube started. And then it just went on, went on, went on. And then slowly, the YouTube channel started picking up, right? I never knew that, okay, see, I love to teach, right? I started making videos. I was making tutorial videos. But with the growth of my YouTube channel, it gave me a lot of confidence that, okay, this is something which you can, which you can earn money with, and which you can also pursue as a career with. See, I was doing YouTube and teaching as a hobby, but I never thought that can I even make this as a profession, right? So I loved software engineering, and then I loved teaching. So it was a very big combo that, okay, I can teach software engineering now, right? So it's a double benefit for me, and right, I would love doing that. So that's how I thought. And after an year ago, after a year and a half of doing YouTube, I really got confidence, right? I think I got When I got 100K subscribers, right? It was a huge number for me. It was a benchmark kind of a thing. YouTube also awards you with a silver play button and all sort of things, right? So then I realized that, okay, I have a good chunk of audience that want more content from me and that want to learn from me. So that is when I thought that, okay, why not do this full time now, right? I was just doing part time on weekends along with my job. It used to be very hectic. But then I realized that, okay, can I make it full time, right? Somehow. And will this sustain me in some form, right? Sustain me, like, as in financially, it will sustain me or not, right? Whether I will be able to make enough money out of it or not, right? Because I will be leaving my software engineering job and then will be coming into teaching. So I never knew whether it will work or not. So Namaste Dev was kind of an experiment that I started, and then that also picked up, and then that's how the journey started.
Superb. So that was a nice ground zero, like, you to start. Yeah, because I believe, like, you didn't you took a risk, but at the same time you were cautious about it, right? But somehow it is you have made a big impact among the learners, I guess, because I could just go to LinkedIn and I can see all your students are like tagging you, and they just thank you Akshay sir for it's a good impact like that you have made. Actually, I could literally see, so the great
Yeah,
hats
when
off
when
to
I was
you.
starting, I never knew that I would be able to create this much impact. But yes, I
Right.
I just carried on. I just went going, and then it happened. Yeah.
Awesome. Sure. So, I remember, like, last year when I connected with you, I believe you were actually planning about building the platform, right? I think there
Yes.
was your team was working on it and everything. So I want to know, like, what exactly brought you to that decision? Like, I believe you might have been using some third-party LMS at that point of time, right? So
Hmm.
what exactly made you to, like, bring to that decision, like, to start your own
So see,
platform?
it again. Let me just go back and start my discussion, or start giving you answer by the where I left. Right. I said
Right.
that, okay, Namaste Dev was kind of an experiment that I started with.
Oh,
And I never knew whether it will go, how much far it will go ahead, whether I will be able to make money out of it or not, whether it will gain that much traction or not, right? Whether that business will survive or not, right? Because that's how edtech startups are. So many edtech startups start and then they fail. I was on the
right.
same boat, right? So I was doing the similar thing. I never knew what will happen, right? Uh, Let me tell you that, okay, in my, like, I have not grown up in a community of entrepreneurs, right? I have never met, like, I see, in my family or extended family, there is no one who is an entrepreneur, okay? So it's something that I was trying very new, and I have to do everything by myself, right? Just by learning, by doing, right? That's how things work. And I never knew whether I will succeed or not. So I did not wanted to take big bets on it. I did not wanted to invest a lot of money into it, right? Though there were a lot of companies and a lot of VCs who were ready to fund me, but then I thought that, okay, I don't want to, like, take a lot of funding and experiment and do a lot of things. I did not wanted to do that, right? I wanted to create a small thing, right? A small place, a small website, and then just teach by myself, right? I never had very billion-dollar big plans. So I thought that, okay, I will invest my own money and then start building Namaste Dev. That's how Namaste Dev was started. And I just had few, like, small money, and then I just invested that into, I would say that money was really very small, right? Okay, so I just saved some money, and then I just started Namaste Dev with a third party platform, because it made no sense to hire a tech team and then build a product from day zero. It's always great for a teacher to just go to third party platforms, teach over there, and see whether your experiment works or not.
Hmm.
If your experiment started working, then it makes sense to, okay, create your own platform or something. So
Right.
that point when you saw us creating the platform was the same point where, we were using the third party apps, and then we were shifting towards our own platform.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, any like in that process, did you face any kind of challenges, like? that you could say, like any key challenges?
Challenges with the third-party platforms, is it? Or
Yeah.
with building Namaste Dev?
Yeah, the third party, as well as like, because you might have seen a transition, right? Because
Yes.
once you started like your own platform, you might have
Mhm.
actually like solved all the issues that you might have been facing in the third party.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. So basically, what happened was, see, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So when I
Okay.
started, and I would suggest it to all the other teachers who want to start an edtech business or whatever you may call this as, right?
Right.
So if somebody wants to start it, the best place to start it is using the third party platforms, right? Because they have already built a solution for you. You don't have to build any dashboard. You don't have to build any video solution. You don't have to build live streaming. You don't have to build a lot of other tech. You can just start from day zero. You just
Right.
register onto their platform. Uh, get students, start teaching them right from day zero. That's
Right.
how you can do that, and that's a good way of starting this kind of a business, right? But then what happened is, and I started the same, everything was going smooth, but what happened is these third party platforms comes with some cons also, right? There are some restrictions, there are some, you know they are very good, I would say. For beginners they are very good, but then after a point of time, uh, it doesn't just make sense to be on there, right? First of
Mm.
all, the major problem with those platforms was that they had a specific set of features. Suppose if I personally want another feature, right? If I want to request a feature, then their process was very tough. First of all,
Mm.
you just cannot just go and ask that, okay, I want this feature in your platform, right?
Right. Right.
It just doesn't work like that. Sometimes they were open to take that feedback and they were okay with building the feature, but then their development cycle is so huge that if you are requesting a feature today, it will come into their platform like after 2 3 months, right?
Right.
So basically, see, all these things were the problem, right, over there, right? There were no new major updates, and I was teaching the tech community, right? I was teaching coding, programming to a lot of students, right?
Right.
So there I need specific type of features. I wanted to go global, so I wanted that my platform should work best globally. I should be able to accept international payments from my system. Everything should work seamlessly, right? Videos should be DRM protected. So some platforms did not have few of these features, right? Some platforms have their own pros and cons. Other platforms have their own pros and cons. But what I did was, after exploring all these platforms, I realized that, okay, there is no one platform that is like doing everything together, right? Which is the best in all these scenarios. So what I thought that, okay, like, why not give it a try and build my own product? Because see, I am coming from a engineering background. I understand tech. I have been leading teams inside Uber, Paytm, and all these companies also. So I thought that, okay, I have an upper edge over here, that I can build a platform for myself, right? If I can create a team, I can manage a team and then build a platform for myself, and that is how I went ahead.
Super.
Hmm.
So I believe, like, you might be like, as you mentioned, like you're already a software developer, right? Like you already worked in top companies, so you might have already knew like what should be done, like, to create your own platform. I think that wouldn't have been a hurdle for you.
Not exactly, right?
Yeah.
Basically, see, if you see, I have been an engineer over there in a
Okay.
team, right? So
Mm-hmm.
see, it is very different. See, being a software engineer is very different than being an entrepreneur. See,
Right.
software engineer is a very small thing, right? You just have to code, right? Somebody gives you the product requirements,
Right.
somebody builds you the design for yourself, then you just have to code some features, right? In a given sprint or in a given week, or you will have to, like, you
Exactly.
get some task and you have to give the results. Entrepreneurship is very different, right? When you are starting a company, you have to solve everything, right from hiring, right from defining the product, designing the product, managing the
Exactly.
finances, accounting. So many things
So
come into
many.
picture. And when you are starting up, you have a startup, then you don't even have a lot of people to like hand over the responsibilities, right? You just can't do that, right? And I did not take funding or something, right? That was my decision itself. Uh, but when you are bootstrapping, then it becomes very tough, because you are just not a software engineer. It was not like I just sat on the desk and then started writing code and build the platform. No,
Right.
it will not happen like this, right? First of all, you will have to think everything throughout. You will need some developers. You will need a lot of help. You cannot do everything
Exactly.
by yourself. So, yes, I was a software engineer. That gave me an upper edge. That made my life a little easier to build this platform. But then I would not say that, okay, just because I had that experience, I just created this platform. And to this date, I face so many challenges as an entrepreneur, which are
Yeah.
very different, right? Which software engineers might
Right.
not get.
Right.
But yes, definitely being a software engineer and leading teams inside Uber, Paytm, and other companies definitely helped me in a lot of things, right? I knew how a project is started, how you can build the tech, how to take tech decisions. Those were the things where it was a little easier. I would not say it was very easy. It was a little easier, but the other parts were a little tough for me. Yep. There were
Got
so many things that I have to like learn throughout this journey.
right. Right. Right.
Huh.
I understand. Like you've been like it's your child, right? Like when you bring them
Exactly.
up, like yeah, it's you have your difficulties as well as it is fruitful by the end of the day.
Yeah.
If I could say, right?
Yes.
Right.
It is, right? I mean, and I would say that, okay, once you have given enough time, right, it definitely takes a toll in your, personal life. But then
Right.
again, it is very satisfying, right? At the end of the day, that whatever you are doing, you are building something, like you are creating something. So it's really nice.
Exactly. So
Mm.
Akshay, like as we're talking about the platform, so just wanted to know like what kind of tech stack you chose for Namaste Dev, or any
So,
specific technologies or tools?
yeah. So talking about the tech stack in Namaste Dev, the all of the backend is written inside Node.js, right?
Okay.
We use Node.js, and apart from that, for the front end, we are using Next.js for our student platform, right? Basically,
Okay.
see, there are different type of front end application. There are three microservices. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is the thing that you go on namastedev.com and see, right? That is built using Next.js, right?
Okay.
Which is a framework, JavaScript framework for building front ends. And then there is one more admin dashboard that we have for internal use, right? For
Mm.
our own purpose, that is built over React.
Okay.
And then we also are building a mobile application, which is another UI.
Right.
Mobile application is being built on React Native. It's not yet
Okay.
live, but
Right.
yes,
Right.
we are in the process of building it. Soon we'll be there.
Super.
Yeah. So this is the tech stack. Apart from that, we use TPStream for video hosting. We
Right.
use
Right.
we use AWS for our servers. We use
Mm-hmm.
Amazon as Pinpoint for sending the emails, and
Okay.
then we use CloudWatch for monitoring and alerts. And what else we use? We use S3. We use CloudFront. All of these, right? Amazon Web Services. We use
Mm.
all of this. Apart from that, for internal communications, we use Google, Gmail, right? The workspace, right?
Right.
So that's how the whole tech stack is.
Got it.
Yeah,
So I
it's
also
basically kind of like MERN stack. Yeah,
okay. 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 So as
yeah, and I forgot the database.
right.
Sorry,
Right.
database is MongoDB.
Okay, okay, superb.
Yeah.
So we're talking about tech stack. Like I also want to understand, like, so when obviously, like when your user base actually grows, right? So how do you actually like scale it? Like, so
Yes.
it is
So
like performance issues or any like you ensure that smooth experience for your users, right? Like,
yes, so it's a challenge, right? Again,
hmm,
and I think every company has their own ways of dealing with it, right?
right,
It's not one solution that fits for everybody.
right,
It's a very different solution for every companies that you see. For now, right? I think on our platform, last month we crossed more than 1 lakh registered student on our platform. That's a huge
oh,
number, right?
superb,
And I think now that number is 1.2 lakhs, I think. right? So it's a 120K. So
Okay.
it's a big number for us.
Right.
And there are a lot of daily active users also. They are simultaneously working on the platform. And sometimes when we launch sale or when I go live or when I do some marketing, then what happens is we see a huge surge and spikes in our traffic. See, first of all, I think scaling the systems is done very slowly, right? It's
Right.
not that tomorrow you wake up and then suddenly you get millions of traffic, right? It only happens with Hotstar and Geo Cinema, right? When they
Right. Right.
when they have IPL matches. So for us, the traffic spikes happen, but they are
Mm-hmm.
not that huge that we have to like we have to be like almost always on our toes, right? The scale that we see is very gradual. It's very slow, so it gives us enough time to prepare, right? So what
Right.
happens is generally right now we are just focusing upon, when we started we were using a medium machine, then we moved on to a larger machine, then you bring in your horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, and all these theoretical principles into practice, right?
Right.
Then you have to solve for, scaling the systems or scaling microservices. There are multiple ways of doing that, and there are different dimensions to it also, right? It
Mm-hmm.
also changes the way you code. Right now, the code is not we are not at that level of scale where we need to optimize very granular level of code, right? We don't, right?
Mm. Got it.
We just moved to a new bigger machine and that works for us. We have increased our RAM, we have increased our server capacity, and that has worked well for us. But there are few more challenges which has come along with scale, that is security, right? And
Right.
along with that, one more thing which has come up is like few attacks that we see.
Mm.
When you grow, then suddenly you also have to prepare for attacks. And
Absolutely.
we have recently, the last time we were launching a new course on our platform,
Mm.
actually we were facing DDoS attack. As a startup, you don't mostly focus upon security and a lot of other things, performance, security, and all these things from day
Right.
zero, right? Because that time you are just building the business. You are just starting very small. You are starting from zero, so you don't think about performance and security. But later on, as we grew, we started seeing more and more attacks. Our website used to go down. There were so
Mm.
many other issues because a lot of people were like, they were just doing some DDoS attacks and a lot of
Okay.
things. But then we slowly started solving it, and I think there is already a lot of information on the internet. You can solve it easily.
Right.
It's just that you have to plug in some products, and you have to just use your, technical minds to fix that up, right?
Right.
I can go into a lot of details into it, but then I think to cut short, security was a bigger concern that we
Right.
saw. When we were scaling, we saw the second bigger concern was piracy. The third
Mm.
bigger concern was that, okay, performance, right? So as you grow, uh, you just can't just scale your machines, right? You just
Right.
can't be scaling your machine. So you have to be intelligent enough to see that where small things you can optimize. So very small things like how do you optimize your assets in your S3 bucket, right?
Right.
So all these very small granular things, we look into it. Then you have to be very good at your alerts and monitoring. You have to see where your API fails, which APIs take a lot of time, right? Then you kind of optimize those APIs. So we
Right.
do all sort of things to like stay fast, stay up, like updated, and stay like live all the time.
Superb. Awesome.
Yeah.
So actually, like as you were talking about the tech stacks, right? So I remembered you mentioned TP streams. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is that I really want to know like how exactly, like, because I believe it was an initial period. So and we were just starting, and uh, there was a lot of a different conversation that was going in the initial period. So I
Yes.
want to understand what made you to believe in TP streams. That is one thing, and how like, because I understand you're just starting the platform, and we were
Uh-huh.
new, and what exactly made you to, like, put that trust in us, and how exactly we actually were beneficial for Namaste Dev.
So I'll tell you, there's a whole story about TP Streams. So
Right.
basically, see, when I was building this platform, when we were building this platform, we were looking for a video solutions provider for us, right? We wanted to host videos, and that comes with a lot of cost. I
Right.
also explored all the things, right? First of all, I went and just Googled a lot of solutions, right? So
Right.
there I found a lot of top solutions, global solutions. There were some providers who were globally available, and they were just providing a lot of video hosting services,
Right.
right? Globally. But what happened is the major cons with those platforms was they were very expensive, first of all. The other
Okay.
thing was I was looking for a company whom, they did not even have a good support system. Like, I
Okay.
was reading
Got
the
it.
reviews, right? I was reading reviews, and I was just seeing that, okay, what are the pros and cons of using this platform. So I
Right.
saw that, okay, most of them does not have good reviews, right? The other thing was a lot of them were, and the ones who had good reviews were very expensive. And then, then I was just finding out, and then I came across TPStreams through a call, right? I think
Right.
Dinesh called me once, and then he explained me about what he was doing, right, with TPStreams, and I was very interested with it. The first thing which I liked about is Dinesh's enthusiasm, right? I
Right.
really loved, right, how he came up and then he pitched his product, and I was really, I was really excited to know more about TPStreams. The other thing is, I really admire Indian entrepreneurs, right? I really like that. Okay, there is a company in India who is doing something in this space, and then they are really killing it, right? And
Awesome.
uh, you know, and then as long as I talked to Dinesh, right, the more I talked to him, the more confidence it gave us, right?
Got it.
Uh, and let me tell you that, okay, when we initially thought of installing TP Streams, right, we thought that, okay, let's keep TP Stream as the backup, right?
Okay.
And then let's use something else,
Right.
because I have not heard of it, right, ever in
Mm-hmm.
my life. But then later on, as we started integrating with it, we took a major decision that we'll go ahead with TP Stream as the primary source of video storage, right? And let us just experiment with few users and see if everything works well. Then we will bring it to scale, right? We'll launch it for all the students. That's how the whole journey started. But
Right.
as soon as, let me tell you that, okay, as soon as I just, we just plugged in TP Stream and we started increasing the users who were using our platform, right?
Right.
The more the users came in, TP Stream handled it very well, right? We were
Sure.
not facing any issues. Everything was working as smooth as possible.
Awesome.
The dashboards were good. They had all the things that we needed, right, at that point of time. And then the other thing is with companies like TP Stream and just like you all, right? There is always a way to reach out to you, right? If
Right.
and I really admire, right? And I just wanted to support Indian entrepreneurs also, right? Uh, to go ahead with an Indian company, right? And
Super.
then promote them, because see, otherwise, see, I am building my own startup, right? And I know how tough it is for us to build a startup right over here.
Right.
And then if I can support them in any way, they will definitely give me a better service. They will give me a good support handling system. uh,
100%. Right.
and I'm very happy with the experience over here. To be very honest, it's been more than an year now, right?
Yes.
Since we
Yes.
are
Yes. Yes.
using TP Streams. I
Right.
think the last time also in October or November, we started,
E-
talking
e-
more about it,
Exactly.
right? So, and then since then, everything is very smooth, right?
Super. Super.
Not faced any issues till then. Uh,
Great to
Here
know
and
that.
there are some things, glitches that happen, but then the
Mm-hmm.
overall experience is very, very good. Yeah, it's very smooth. The major
Awesome.
thing, in fact, let me tell you that before even going on to TP Streams, I was also thinking that, okay, let me host our own videos on
Mm-hmm.
AWS or the other platforms. But then again,
Mm-hmm.
that comes with a very heavy technical debt on you, right?
Exactly.
Basically, you need a video player, you need a lot of things, you need DRM and all that stuff. So
Right.
we did not wanted to do all that by ourselves. That is why we were looking out for a solution, video solution that provides DRM and all these things. And we are also excited that, okay, TP Stream is coming up with live streams, and I'm super excited to
Right.
integrate that too, right?
Sure.
Basically,
Sure.
live streams, near real time live streams, basically, right?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
it would be amazing. Mm.
So sure. Sure. It will be soon. It will be live. Actually.
Yeah.
And Akshay, also, like, Well, talking about that, like I also wanted to understand. So you were saying that you have a small team right now, isn't it? So
Yeah.
initially you
Mhm.
started by yourself, and I believe right now you have a small team. So and having a 1.2 or 1.5k, sorry, 1.5 lakh of users, it's not a small company. It's like it is a big user base, if you ask me, right? So how do you actually manage like the whole development process, like with your team? Like, is there any methodologies or practices that there'll be something like you might be working, the collaboration that you might have with your team, right?
Yes. So, see, I mean, what I have learned in working in different type of companies is, see, I have worked on very different type of companies. I've worked in very small startups also. I worked in companies like Paytm, which are very huge. Then I worked with companies like Uber. So I have picked up few of these things from these companies, and then I wanted to first of all, let me tell you what my thought process was when I was starting up. I wanted to keep, I am not a very good manager, right? As per se, I'm not a very good people manager or something, right?
Right.
And I really like to avoid meetings, and I don't want to manage people, do nitpicking, and then keep questioning about their work and all that stuff, right? I don't do that, right, till date. um, I just wanted to build a very small team, but with very good people, right? So that they are self-motivated, and if they are given some work, they are doing it on their own. I don't have to like chase them again and again. I don't have to just, uh, you know, uh, keep on chasing them that, ki, how much have you done? What has happened? Every other hour you ping the people, right? I don't want to
Right.
do that. I also want to, offload a lot of responsibilities, and wanted to expect, right? I was expecting them to come up with their own unique ideas, right? Unique solutions.
Right.
So I knew that I have to build a team who is very good, right, at what they do. And I wanted to keep the team as small as possible. These are the two things, right?
Right.
When I started with myself, and there were two more interns that I hired, right?
Mhm.
So these were the two interns. It was very tough, the hiring that we do. See, the problem with me is, if I go and put a hiring form on LinkedIn, right? I I get like thousands and 10 thousands of people who want to work with me. But
Exactly.
the problem is, how do you shortlist from them, right? It's a very big pain for me, right? But then I did that tedious process because I wanted to be very sure whom I am getting into my team. Uh, and I was very sure what is the work that I want to assign to them, right? So I was just focused upon, see, suppose if I'm hiring a video editor, I know that, okay, this type of video editing I need, right? And I
Right.
basically don't hire them by just taking like random interviews. I basically hire them by their work, right? I don't
Right.
look, till today, let me tell you very honestly, I don't even know whether the people in my team, which college they went to, what degree they have. I really don't know about that, right? I
Right.
just hire on the basis of work, right?
Right.
I generally give them some assignments, or sometimes I take their interviews, but the major focus is whether if I hire them, they will be able to do the work which I will give them or not, right? How
Right.
creative they are, how innovative they are. That is what the main focus is, right? And whether they are self-motivated or not. Because see, self-motivation is a very big thing. You just can't give somebody some work and then expect them to do by themselves, right?
Right.
So very less people you will find they can do them. So I got these people, interns with me, and then I coached them a lot. Uh, those two interns became full-time employees, right? And then later on, I hired two more full-time employees. So basically, I just have a team of six, including me,
Oh.
right? So that's all the team we have, and we handle everything, like literally everything, right from support to the tech team to video editing to audio editing, managing YouTube, checking analytics, development, front end, back end, mobile application, everything
Oh, that's
is all we handle. And let me also tell you that, okay, we majorly believe in tech.
mm,
Okay, so anything that can be solved with tech is solved with tech in our team, right? Let me tell you that, okay, scaling support was not easy. The toughest part to scale was support,
right.
because if you just have 100 people, suppose you get 10 support emails, okay, 10 people are facing issues. You scale to 1000 users.
Thousand.
Now those support emails grow more, right?
Right.
Then you scale to 10,000, then you scale to 50,000, 1 lakh. But let
Exactly.
me tell you, still till date, our support is so much, a lot of things are automated and lot of things we have solved with tech. Okay, so there is
Mm-hmm.
very less manual intervention. Whenever we find a problem that we can solve with tech, we solve with tech instead of getting a human onto us, right? See, there are two ways of scaling, right? Either suppose your support tickets are increasing, right? So either you
Right.
can get a sales team on board, right? You have like 5, 10 support people, they are just telecalling everyone. And then suppose you started getting more tickets, you just hired one more. So I don't want it to increase the human labor in our company. We
Got it.
wanted to have smart people who can solve things via tech. And I believe in a rule that, okay, everything can be solved by tech,
Solved by tech.
right? So I am onto that journey. There are so many more things that I have to solve with tech, but you're slowly moving towards there. Right.
Go.
So that's why I wanted to keep the team lean. I wanted to keep the team strong and small, highly focused, remote. See, as I told you, right? I really, I am not a very good, as I said, right? I'm not a very good people manager or something. I don't want to manage people. I don't want to get into their like daily lives or whatever, right? I'm
Right.
okay. Right? You just walk, get the job done. That's it. That's all we need, right? So that's how the team has been, and everything is going great so far.
Superb. Awesome. So it's like an eye opener for people who really want to start even a small business with a small team. It's not about you know
Yes,
it's all
it's
about the
not
smart
about you
work.
have to build. I really don't like that structure that, okay, build a
Hmm.
hierarchy, you are on the
Hierarchy.
top, then you have managers, then you have managers, then you have
Got it.
like a team of leads, and then there are people. So I really don't like that, right? Maybe in future, right, it can grow to some levels, but then
Right.
I really wanted to be stay connected to whoever is working. Today I
Super.
have 6 people in my team. I am constantly in touch with all of them, right? And then we all know what each other are doing, right? It's very easy.
Right.
But if you bring in hierarchies, if you bring in a lot of teams and you build in complicated processes, it becomes tough. And I've seen that happening in a lot of companies where I've worked previously. So I just
Got it.
wanted to pick up few good things from there.
Superb. So I believe that could make any big change, because when you are the CEO, and when there is a direct intervention of a CEO with all the members of the team, right? It's a kind of a
Yes.
motivation at the same time. I could believe it
It's
drives the team
it's a
to.
motivation, and then sometimes there is a information loss in the hierarchy.
Right.
Suppose if I have some idea, right? If I'm directly telling the person who is building that works really well. But suppose if I have an
100%.
idea, I put it down onto right some sheet. That sheet is being read by a manager. That manager is giving that to somebody else, right? A lead, and then the person who is developing is someone else itself, right? So that
Right.
idea or that whole thing loses its core, right? The purpose and that whole vibe. So I am I really love to brainstorm things up with my team, and then we build it together, right? So that's
Super.
how it has been working for us so far. So let's see how well it goes in future.
Super. It will be going great. Actually, I could see that. So, and also actually, like, I also want to understand. So you were talking about the support and everything. So how, like, also from the platform point of view, like, there could have been any kind of user feedback that you might got, right, in any particular changes. Maybe any of your user would have asked you, like, so have you, like, planned, have you implemented those changes for your users, or like how do you take those feedbacks?
So many changes, right? I mean, see, first of all, we don't even wait for user feedback. We have a lot of cool alerts and monitoring into our place, right? So if your website is getting slow somewhere, right? If your APIs are getting slow, if your pages are getting slow, we get
Right.
alerts automatically.
Okay.
As soon as our APIs get slow, we get alerts automatically. I want to give all my users the fastest experience that I can give, right?
Right.
The website should be up all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in attack, the website, there were few attacks that we have seen.
Right.
At that time, our website was down. Otherwise, our website is always up and running. Because see, the crazy part about our business is that it's global, and there are all sort of students. Even in the morning or even in the late night, 2 o'clock, right? Two
Oh,
o'clock in the night, 3 o'clock in the
okay.
night, there are students who are studying. Right.
Super.
Okay. So there are some students who study late in the night, right? Till
Right.
12, in
Right.
1, 2, right? And then after that crowd goes away, right? That 2 a.m., 3 a.m. crowd goes away. Then the early risers start, right? There are some students who just wake up at 4 a.m. and then they start studying. So
Right.
our website constantly gets traffic throughout, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure that your website is up and running, your systems are correct. So that is one way that we don't even rely on users' feedback. We have alerts and monitoring in place. We just keep our logs in check, right? Suppose if there are some things failing up, we just take care of them automatically. We just prioritize things. But there are few things, right, in terms of usability or something, which the students are facing issues with. So basically, see, we are very much approachable. We get a lot of support emails, right, where the people request a lot of new features. We
Right.
also have a section in our website where people can give us feedbacks, right?
Oh, super.
So they just give us feedback. Once they give us feedback, we carefully look into it, whether they are whether it really makes sense or not. And there are
Mm.
so many things that people have asked for, which we did not even think of, right? So
Right.
basically, let me tell you a very basic, very small thing, right? What a
Mm-hmm.
person asked was,
Right.
see, we had there's a player speed, right? When you watch
Mm.
the videos, you have player speed. You can do it 1x, 2x, 4x,
Right.
right? 6x, like that, right? So there was 1x, 2x, and 4x.
Mm.
So somebody requested, can we have 3x, right? I said, okay, why? Like, I mean, it's a very unique use case. Either you use 2x or 4x. Why do you need specifically 3x?
Right.
I said, okay, let's do it, right? If there is no harm in doing something, why not do it, right? Just do it. These are very small things which I'm talking about.
Right.
But there are few people who have actually requested a lot of cool features with us, right? And we have built it, and then it has just grown a lot, right? People were
Right.
asking us to build a platform where they can share their knowledge. We built a whole blogging platform for them, right? So basically now
Super.
any student can go and can share their knowledge in the form of blogs over there in the
Oh,
platform, right? And we are
super.
building a lot more cool features. Most of the features that we build generally comes from student itself. It's not our unique ideas. It is, we actually build things which students need. Right. So feedback is a very important thing for
Important.
us. Very important. Right from how the buttons are looking to what new bigger features, big applications that we make, everything comes from users.
Right.
A lot of students were asking us for mobile apps. So here we are building mobile apps now. So we
Awesome.
take feedbacks, yes, and we try to do whatever is needed.
Awesome. Awesome. I think that's great actually. That really brings a retention of the users as well. When you're
Yes, that's
actually
that's how students love you. They trust
right.
you, right? They will come back to your platform, right? They
Right.
feel heard, they feel listened. So that's how things have been.
Super. So and actually so as said that what is the future plans for Namaste Dev? I know that you are planning
Uh-huh.
about launching the new application, right?
Yes. So
Apart
right
from
now
that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we are building a mobile application, right?
Mm.
That will soon be launched, right? I
Okay.
don't have a date right now. We are in the process of building it. Let's see how
Awesome.
much time it will take.
Sure.
Most probably we'll launch for Android first, then we'll move on to the iOS, right?
Right.
Uh, but yes, so that is the major thing we are working on. We are also working on a feature where people can just come and create their resumes, right? So
Oh,
there's a very big chunk of students who need help with resumes. A
all
lot
right.
of people just ask, Akshay, is my resume good? how to create a good resume, this, that, can you help us? Can you just review my resume? So we are kind of like trying to use tech to solve this problem.
So
We are trying to
is it a
solve that.
separate platform, or like it's part of
We are,
Namaste Dev? Like,
we are building as a part of Namaste. It's not live yet,
okay,
but we
okay,
are in the process of building it. In a few months, you will see that. Not in a few
superb.
months, I think. Probably next month you will be able to see that, I guess, right? Let's see. We are building it. We are also trying to build some cool features where we are also integrating GPT into our platform and
Oh,
see that, okay, how can AI help people?
right, right,
Most
right.
probably, let me just reveal a secret, right? We are
Yeah,
basically
sure.
trying to use GPT
Mm-hmm.
to help people with resumes.
Oh,
So
superb.
uh, basically right now we are training GPT, right? We are training a model where it will help you to review your resume and tell you the feedback on top of it, can
Oh,
rephrase your resume, right? Basically uh, it's like, some people, what they text me is, Akshay, this is my resume, can you review it? So I want to build a AI model where that
mm-hmm.
AI model can review it in a way that I would have reviewed it, right? So
Right.
that
So,
that's how we are building it.
right.
It
So, will that be only available to the users, or like could
right
that be
now I
a
haven't
separate service?
right now I haven't thought about it, right?
Okay.
Basically, see, we are building that product. Initially, what we are thinking is we'll just make it live for all our paid users, right?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
uh, we'll just do a slow control launch, right? We'll
Mm-hmm.
just launch it for our paid users. That way, it will also help us evaluate how much cost does it take, right?
Right.
Uh, we'll do that. And then probably we'll launch it for everybody for free as well, right?
Free as well.
That's the major plan. I want to launch it for everybody for free, but
Right.
I'll just have to put some restrictions. Otherwise, it would be a huge bill for us also. So
Exactly.
I'll first of all see how much. I haven't calculated all that cost, and I have not done that math also.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but soon we'll see, and if possible, right? If the finances works well, then we'll launch it free for everybody, right? We are okay to give that thing. We are also building some more cool features, right? Right now, these two are very actively in the development phase. That is why
Right.
I was just talking about them. Otherwise, we are also working on bringing up roadmaps for the students.
Okay.
We are also working on building the whole new user interface. We are trying to revamp our whole website with a new UX, right? The
Oh,
user experience. So the website that you see, namastedev.com right now, will look
right.
very different after a month,
Okay.
maybe. Right, so
Sure.
we are just trying to improve it a lot. We are also trying to improve mobile experience for our website, because see, a lot of people watch videos on mobile.
Hmm.
So we are trying to increase, and a lot of that chunk, those people requested us for app also. Meanwhile,
Right.
the app is being built. We still want to improve the mobile web version of our website. So that is what we'll do. So we are in the process of doing it. Let's see how far we are, right? Let's see how fast we can do that.
Sure. 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 All the best for that, Akshay. And
Thank you.
I'm actually waiting for your the resume builder. Actually, I want to give a
Yes,
try.
yes. We are
Right.
building that very soon. Let's see.
Sure. Sure.
There are more
Awesome.
things that we want to work on, but again,
Mm-hmm.
right, we are just moving slowly. I do sometimes, when you work on like many things in parallel, then you lose focus onto your core things.
Right.
One more cool feature that we are building, I just got that in my mind, is course bundles. So basically, right now in our platform, you just can buy one course at a time. But
Right.
now we are also building a core feature, which is a very core feature for us, that you can now purchase a bundle, right? And then we will give it discount. Suppose if
Oh,
we have seen a lot of our students, they buy, most of them want to buy multiple courses together,
multiple course.
right?
Right.
So we thought that, okay, let's create course bundle kind of a thing where you can just add more courses to your cart, and
Hmm.
then you will get more discounts, right?
Discount.
If you
Right.
buy multiple together. Because see, there are so many students, I don't have a number for it, but there are so many percentages of students who buy all our courses, right? Who have right now on our platform, uh, those people have all our courses, right?
Okay.
All our paid courses. So we thought that, okay, when they want to buy all our courses, then why not offer them one bundles also, right? So
Right.
that would help them give a discount, right? And
Exactly.
that will be beneficial for us as a business as well. So we are also building that feature right now.
Superb. And I just had one question actually. So this is like, a personal question that I wanted to
Yes, sir.
ask you.
Uh-huh.
So as somebody like who is from commerce background, let's say like uh, he doesn't know anything about science from
Mhm.
his high school.
Mhm.
He took commerce and have the degree in BCom or any other humanities
Mhm.
or something. So if he had this curiosity about for learning for coding or programming languages,
Mhm.
will that be fruitful? Like let's say that if
Yes,
he is
why
able
not?
to, will that get him a career?
See, there are people, it's now extremes when I talk about, but then, I have seen in Bangalore, there is a
Right.
security guard, right? Who was a security guard, now he's a software engineer.
Oh,
He, yes. So there was a guy who was from the northeast part of the India, right? I think
right.
somewhere a village very close to Assam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he came from there to Bangalore looking for opportunities. He started working as a security guard,
Oh,
and then later on he had a mobile phone. He started watching videos. Then he from the money he got, the salary he got, he used to go to cyber cafes to code, and then he
oh,
became a software engineer. So there are so many people. There is no less motivation. And let me tell you, you can become a software engineer all by yourself. All you need is an internet connection and a
right.
laptop. That's it. No degrees, nothing. And if you talk about science, there are streams, right, where people from non-science background also come and become coders, right?
Right.
If you know about BCA, MCA, right? I think
BCMC, right,
BCA,
right.
MCA, anybody can do. Even people from commerce stream, they can just go to BCA, MCA. They can become a masters in computer application, right? So
Hmm.
you have formal degrees also if you want to pursue that, even if
Right.
you are from not from a non-science background or a commerce background or arts background. You can just go do BCA, MCA if you want to pursue the formal education. If you don't want to pursue formal education, you can learn everything by yourself. And I have so many examples right now, right? Just like that security guard, we have a lot more people who have made their career into software engineering like that.
Right.
I'm not saying that it will be very easy path for you. It will definitely be a tough path. You might have to face challenges.
Exactly.
Uh, a lot of companies might not accept you in one go. But then it's hard, but it's not impossible, right?
Hmm. Got it.
It's not easy. I'm telling you that it's not easy from day one. It will be a little tough. It will be tough, but it's not impossible. You can definitely do that. And I would say that okay, uh, if you want to do that, at least first of all experiment and see whether you are liking coding or not. See,
Hmm.
everything
Right.
looks very fancy from outside,
Right.
but once you get into it, then you tell whether, first of all, start learning. You don't have to spend a penny to learn that, right? Just go to YouTube, start learning, right? Whatever.
Right.
Pick up a language, pick up, and if you now you would ask me, Akshay, what language to pick, where to start? Let me tell you, start with JavaScript, okay? If you want to
Right.
answer, I would say, okay, start with JavaScript, right? Just pick
Right.
up JavaScript, start coding in it. See, watch tutorial, just type like learn JavaScript, right? On
Right.
YouTube, start watching anything, start coding along, learn JavaScript and see where it goes. Learn coding, it's very easy. I would say that it will open up your mind as well, right? So why not do it? Try
Sure.
it
Sure.
out. If you find it interesting, if you see yourself being able to solve those problems,
Hmm.
then you can think about going in a much proper fashion and can pursue it as a career also if everything goes well and if it excites you, if you find opportunities or not. But I've seen a lot of people also, if they don't get a job, they become freelancers. I
Hmm.
know a lot of friends
Right.
who uh, who had a arts degree, right? They did a BA, then they
Okay.
came into coding, right? It was very unrelated. They started learning coding, started building websites. Okay, and then they became freelancers. Now they are earning a lot of money, right? They are
Super.
serving clients from the US, from
Hmm.
Europe, uh,
Okay.
then they are making a lot of money out there, right? So there are a lot of career paths if you want to pursue. It can be a little tough, but first of all, find out whether it is for you or not.
For you not.
Because let me tell you, coding is not for everyone.
Right. So
Okay.
basically, like you need to find that enthusiasm in it,
Yes.
right? So that will drive you to like, and it's not like you just learn one particular language because it's like it just keeps on updating every era. So
I
just
would say
new
that, okay,
languages
see, basic fundamentals of programming never changes, right?
never
How
changes, right?
many language, how many frameworks change, right? Basic
Hmm.
fundamentals never changes. So pick up any language. I would say pick up JavaScript, right? Because
Right.
JavaScript is easy to learn, easy to start with, right? Pick up JavaScript and start learning, start coding in it, right? Try to see whether, see, when you will, I actually tell a lot of people, right? Whether they are from the tech background or from the non-tech background, I encourage them to code. At
Right.
least try. It will give you a new perspective. It will open up your mind. It's very interesting to code, right? Everybody should code, I would say, right? But then
Right.
coding, when I say coding is not for everyone, I would say that coding as a career is not for everyone.
Everyone,
You
right?
know, basic coding everybody should do, right? In my opinion. But then again, you have to make it as a career or not. That is up to you. That is when you will practice it, then you will realize whether you are interested in it or not. Are you able to solve the problems or not? Are you able to code or not? Once you
Exactly.
gain that confidence, if you really like it, then pursue it as a career. But when starting, don't think that, okay, you have to make a career in it. Just start it as a
Hmm.
hobby, or just started as an experiment, or just like a new hobby you start, right? Similarly,
Right.
you try to, most of the people, when I tell them to code, I just ask them, okay, try to create your website, right? So that's a good
Hmm.
place to start. So if Stephen, you are there, right? Suppose I would tell you that, okay, create your stephensunny.com, right? And whatever it
Got it.
takes to make it live, just make it up first. If you get frustrated into the process, it's not for you. if you if you are able to, if you enjoy doing that, if you make your website, then you can move up the ladder and see whether, like, you can, where you can go.
Nice. Nice. I'll keep in mind. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And actually, like, I think we have came. I think it's come to the point, like, So the session is going to end. So before that, before we end, I just want to ask you, like, is there any kind of advice that you would like to give to someone who is like looking to build their own learning platform or any
So the
resources or
advice
tool?
is, yes, so
Yeah.
the advice is, see, uh, just be sure, because see, once you build a product, I would say that, okay, I know a lot of people who want to start the EdTech platform or something. If you are very new, if you are just starting up, you don't know where the future is or whether you will be able to get the students or not, don't invest much into building your own platform. It's very good to go ahead with other platforms itself when you are starting up. uh,
Right.
and uh, once you reach a point, once you know that, okay, now you can turn it up into a business, you earn enough money, then invest into building that platform. That is the good strategy, and that is what I followed, and that has worked for me at least, right? Because
Right.
see, I have seen people doing this mistake that, okay, the day they will leave their job and starting, and they want to teach online, they will start creating their edtech platform. That's a bigger mistake, because when you are creating a platform, now you have to deal with a lot of things, right? Now
Right.
you have to hire a team, you have to do regular stand-ups, then you will have to do a lot of meetings, you'll have to manage the product, then you'll have to think about the security, scale, all sort of things, right? There will be a lot of clients whom you have to
Right.
deal with, you have to deal with meetings, this, that. So it will just, you will lose focus in the process of doing it. I would
Right.
say only do that after reaching a certain stage, right? This is the major advice I would like to give you.
Sure.
And then, whenever you are building something, doing something, then see, everybody has their own ways of building things up, right? Somebody might want to build it with a large team, somebody want to build it with a small team, somebody would
Right.
like to build it maybe all by themselves, right? Code everything from scratch. So it's upon you how you want to do that. But I would say that, okay, uh, be very sure that what you are building, because I have seen a lot of people failing. So just because they do not think enough before they start
Right.
building a product. Because see, tech product is easier to build, right? Sorry, tech product is hard to build,
Hard.
but then it is much, much harder to maintain. So
Mm.
always think about that. Always
Right.
think about that. It's hard to build, but much, much, much more harder to maintain
Maintain.
over a long period of time. It's a
It's
it's a
true.
very big pain to maintain a tech product. So if you are ready to take that up, right? If you are ready for that challenge, right? Then get into it. Otherwise, just stick to third-party platforms or something. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Yes, that's great.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Akshay, for sharing your valuable insights and experiences. It's been a fantastic session, and I'm sure everyone has taken away some great lessons about building and scaling their own LMS. And to our audience, thank you all for joining us today. We hope this session has inspired you to explore new possibility with your own platform. It may not. If you have any further questions, you can you can feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to learn more about TPStreams and our services, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to help you. And don't forget, this webinar has been recorded and will be available for on-demand view soon. So keep an eye on your inbox. And once again, thank you for attending and have a great day ahead.
And
And
lastly,
Akshay,
thank you so much, Stephen, for
yes, yes.
inviting me up. Yep.
Sure, that this was a great, it's a big thing actually. Thank you so much, Akshay, for keeping your time for us actually. And I hope
Okay.
we can have soon or later, like we can have a face-to-face podcast session as well sometime
Yes,
later.
definitely.
Like,
Would
yeah,
would love to meet you guys as well, right? I would
sure, sure, sure. We'll bring the team.
want to
We'll
meet you.
ask Dinesh to also
Yeah,
join.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Akshay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye.